Hello and welcome. Coming to you from the Geek ETC podcast studios. I'm Josh.
And I'm John, and I just had a leg of lamb from Helios Aerospace MRE.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
Pretty good.
I'm sure it was. But this is the Geek ETC podcast, where we dive into all things you can geek out about. Well, hello, friend across the table from me.
Coming from across the table to my friend Josh.
I feel like it's been a fortnight. Not referencing the game. It's been a while
About to get down.
since you've been here in the studio.
Yeah, it's been the busiest part of the year for all of us. Like
No
me
kidding.
getting a promotion, you going on vacation, me going on vacation, and then just a lot of random stuff. So yeah, it's definitely been the busiest we've been probably in a couple of years.
Yeah,
honestly.
and now we're kind of in the holidays, so with my full-time job, we just hit Black Friday
Ooh.
stuff with Cyber Monday and all those kinds of things. So yeah, my work is like crazy busy now too. So we've had our plates full.
We have had our plates full, and we had Thanksgiving, which was nice. I had my plate full then too.
That's a very good point.
And
Those
can't
were full
wait till
plates.
Christmas, 'cause
But-
I'll do it again.
No matter how full our plates are, we're always going to scoop stuff to the side and make room for the Geek ETC podcast.
That will be the goal. That is
Yes.
goal numero uno in our charter that we
Our
drafted.
charter.
Yeah, in our constitution, the day we formed.
Did you wear one of those big white wigs whenever you wrote it, when you penned it in like quill and ink?
No, I didn't, because that's too British, so I
That
didn't
is-
want to
you're
do
right.
that. And nothing against our British listeners, because we love you guys, and you guys calling French fries chips and stuff.
Right.
But
Well, cool. Well, I'm glad to have you back. We've got a lot to catch up on and
mhm.
get into. I know last week we kind of had a little part one of my trip to Tokyo.
Yes.
Part two may not be this episode, but may be coming up soon. Just because there's so much else going on
Yeah.
that we gotta catch each other up on. So
Yeah, I think it should be a whole nother episode. I think that should be next one. But this one's just gonna be more of a general format, and we've got lots of things to discuss. I've definitely had a lot of things that I've seen, and I want you guys to be aware of and have on your plates that you guys can check out.
cool.
So-
I'm excited to hear.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, first and foremost, kind of because we're on the precipice of it, as we're recording Monday the 4th, in some gaming news, tomorrow, a teaser trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, which, everybody's kind of been waiting. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. I don't even remember when it came out. It was like 2012
It's been a minute. Yeah.
it's been a long time. After it's released on like 47 different platforms and refrigerators and stuff,
Yeah.
like
I'm still mad at them for, I had that one online character that had all the money and all the cars and all that stuff, and then I didn't transfer it over to Xbox
you
One
didn't
soon enough.
import you didn't import it quick enough.
Yeah, and I lost all of that and had to come up with and there's no way I'm going to try to get that back
Yeah.
up. Absolutely not.
And like they had a thing like where you could only do it once for some reason. Like you
Yeah.
could import it one time and then that was it, and you had to do it in this time limit.
Yeah.
So
I guess we don't know anything about the cloud, do we?
Yeah, right.
Rockstar.
no, they totally could have allowed people to do that more than once if you needed
What
to.
are you, a gaming studio or a Nickelback song? Huh?
Right. Well, I mean, they do have all the money on the planet now, with GTA 5 being the highest profiting, entertainment thing that's ever existed.
Yeah, I saw something today that video games, the video gaming industry is making more than all film and TV media put together. And
Wow.
it's easy to tell. And I saw something the other day where people were like, well, gamers need to be charged by the hour.
Oh, I saw that too.
And that is just so stupid, because that's the reason why this is so successful. So you're going to take something that is like the most profitable game, like profitable media, and you're going to try to bastardize it with what you guys are already doing and ruining a lot of our film and TV series. So no, you can stay over there.
I'm already kind of like, tired of the, loot box stuff or like paid. Like, I'm not really even big on, I think Call of Duty is what ruined me on it, on the kind of like battle pass
Yeah.
stuff. And you have to keep like buying things, or you like all the different, cosmetic stuff and buy this and buy that and extra in-game currency stuff. Yeah, I've kind of grown tired of all that stuff.
I don't mind it for something like Squad, one game that we've talked about before, tactical FPS shooter on PC specifically.
They have stuff you can buy in there?
They're about to put some out. I think it's going to be like small pack, like weapon. I think it's not going to be like pink and blue, and it's just going to be like camo pack, like camo stuff that you can have on your different weapons and everything. And that game's been out so long. If they need a fresh like rush of cash, that's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Well, and a game like that is so good, like again, I'm like I said, I'm still kind of like waffling on it because something like that, I don't mind at all to support the devs at Squad, because they're doing such a good thing.
Yeah, and they're
like, but freaking Activision with Call of Duty and stuff, I'm like, yeah, you have enough money.
Yeah, I hate this whole Call of Duty's 2 different studios things,
or 3,
yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's though. I was never a big, like, we were always trended Battlefield, you and I feel like we always trended the Battlefield. We did play a lot of,
we played the old Modern Warfare 2 a good bit,
a good bit. But now, like, I think that a lot of things are trending, especially for like our generation. Things are trending away from like golden guns and that kind of stuff to more tactical, realistic shooters like Ground Branch, or what's that other one that's really big? Man, I can't remember what the name of it is right now. But Ground Branch and Ready or Not, like those, like those kind of games.
Also,
Tarkov.
Tarkov. Another one that I just saw the other day. I don't know why I never heard of it. You've probably heard of it. Is Door Kickers.
Yeah, I've played that on my nephew's iPad, and it was pretty addictive.
Yeah, I was saying like that looks pretty cool. I feel like we might should play that at some point.
That would be a good live stream for sure. That would
think so.
Or even just putting videos of that up. Like, yeah, it was,
because I would like to get your like tactical advice on some of those things and try and see how we could maneuver this, because it's kind of like a turn-based sort of deal.
Yeah, I did okay when I played it, but it was definitely like, it was hard to do on an iPad. I think a computer would be much better.
Yeah, I think if I had it on my computer, controlling it, mouse, keyboard, and had you as like a tactical advisor next to me, like we can make our way through these buildings pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, and there's like a new game coming out kind of based on those. It's called like Body Cam, and it's like filmed
that
from like
one's crazy.
Yeah, it's like filmed from. It looks realistic because it's filmed from like a center fisheye point of view.
Yeah, if you had like a GoPro mounted on your chest.
Yeah, or a body camera.
Yeah, or a body camera. There's fisheye too. Yeah, some kind of body camera of some kind. But yeah, like the way that the movement of the gun and all this stuff, it looks freaking real.
Yeah, it's pretty
pretty wild.
And I think that like there's a lot of stuff kind of trending that way, where like people are like liking this realism, where people go down fast,
right?
You go down fast.
And like if you want the opposite, you want the pure cosmetic stuff. Like Fortnite exists for that.
Yeah,
like they just released a new pack of characters and stuff, and freaking Peter Griffin's one of them.
Oh my god, is the chicken one too?
That was one of the top comments on the Reddit post I saw. They're like, "So are we gonna get the chicken next?"
Yeah,
but it's Peter Griffin, but he's like swole, so he's like big and like muscly and stuff, but his head's still the same, but he's just got like a like muscly body. They even made a little like Family Guy animation short to describe what happens to him as an introduction to his character in the thing. But I'm like, yeah, you can have like Peter Griffin fighting Thanos, fighting John Wick, fighting Spider-Man. Like it's the new equivalent of like, we did this when we were kids, but they were action figures. And we would make the teams in our bedrooms with action figures of all these characters, but now you just have a video game to do it, which is kind of cool, especially for kids and stuff. I know my nephew is really into it.
Yeah, I've never played a round of Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a kid's house, like I was at a house one time, and there was a kid there playing it while I was doing work stuff. And I remember it hit a huge TV, like a 70-inch TV, like one of those like rounded ones. And he was playing it, and I was like, "What is this game? It doesn't look that bad," but it was Fortnite. I was like, okay,
yeah. It
just doesn't interest me. The battle royale stuff has kind of gotten out of hand too. Like Tarkov, I feel a lot different about, because it's not technically a battle royale. Like anybody, it's just more of a sneaker.
You can get in and out without even seeing anybody.
Yes, if you
it's like it's a survival looter basically. So it's kind of different in that way. But yeah, I know. I haven't looked in on PUBG in a while, but I know like the graphics are definitely a lot better on that than they used to be.
So I tried to go back and play PUBG, and I was very upset. So you have to do all of this stuff just to get back in and play multiplayer. Like you have to complete a boot camp, and you have to play like so many AI games.
Oh, you have to work your way up progressively kind of thing. Oh,
It's like a tutorial. Like you couldn't, I wasn't able to skip it. You guys might be listening and saying, you're stupid, John, which is not the first time you've done it, but
there's some other way to get around it.
There's some other way to get, but I didn't see it. And I actually remember Googling it and people were like really frustrated with it too. Cause I was just going to play by myself and do what I used to like to do on that. And that is go play solo versus squads. Yeah. And since you can't revive on there, well, now I guess you can. But back in the day, you couldn't revive on there. I would just ruin people's games by killing one or two of their teammates before they got me. Right. And then they've got like decide whether they're going to keep playing or not. Yep. So just kind of being a rat on there.
Yep. We had some fun with that back in the day. Yeah. I actually just found, I was looking through on my Xbox and I stumbled upon, I had never looked at it, but I stumbled upon like all my game capture clips.
Oh yeah.
That I've taken on there. And I never even like looked through that. I have some on there from 9 years ago.
That's awesome. We should post it. We should make a video, like a YouTube video of just like our compilation of like
you could probably like if you access it on the web, like on a PC, you could probably like download them from there or something. If anything, I could screen capture
like Xbox DVR or whatever.
Or something like that. Yeah. But I was looking through them and like the very first one I had was from GTA 5 actually, coming full circle. It was when they first introduced the first person mode because you didn't have to, you used to have that. And so they had that and I'm just like walking around just, experiencing first person. I've got a gun out and I walk up to a car and like, I'm standing in front of it like an idiot because the AI is actually kind of smart and I point at him and he just floors it. And so then I just ragdoll and you see it's first person. So you just see the hood of the car and my vision kind of turns to the right and the ground's just flying by. Yeah. So he's just flooring it. And and then finally the character like resets and stands up on the hood and he's still driving. So I aim it at him again. And then I just like ragdoll and roll off the car. And like you can see the vision just like rolling down the highway.
That's like there's a video I specifically remember on the Xbox DVR and it was me in first person and we had parachuted in a multiplayer game like me and you were playing. Oh. And we were shooting the flare gun at each other. And you hit me and knocked my shoot off.
Right.
And it's terrifying because it's like all of a sudden it was just like wind in your face and then here comes the ground.
Yeah, you're just falling.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny one, actually.
I don't know if I looked through all of them. That may be one that you have on yours or something. I don't remember seeing that on mine. But I didn't watch all of them. But there's like a few GTA stuff, and then there's a like series of I've got 2 big chunks of like Apex that are mostly screenshots of any time that we won.
Yeah,
I just took screenshots of like the winner. Same with PUBG. Like when we got the chicken dinner, I would do that, and then there's a couple video clips in there as well.
Yeah, I did that too. I did a bunch of those, and for Modern Warfare, I did a bunch of those as well.
Yeah, and then Modern Warfare has like I think the most actual clips of one or both. There's a couple of them that I pulled up. There was literally just me. I was dead, and I was like watching you, and you did something crazy, and then I just recorded it.
Yeah.
So
sometimes I go back and watch those on like the Xbox DVR or something like that. It's good fun. It's good nostalgia. That would actually be a fun like compilation video of just like
I have to see what I was on there.
I have a bunch of Rainbow Six ones as well.
Oh yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, there was a bunch of Rainbow Six Siege stuff. On there for sure, which was cool. But yeah, I just stumbled upon that. Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. What was the original thing before I got off on that topic we were just talking about?
Well, we were talking about GTA 6.
Oh yeah, GTA 6. Right. So that the trailer comes out tomorrow as of this recording. So on the 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern time, they're going to have, but it's just a teaser trailer. But still, it's like the first official thing that they're putting out where we're going to see something from it. It takes place in Vice City again, which is like their version of Miami. But coinciding this, there was what people are saying is a leak that happened of a image of the map in GTA. And it looks like they had it side by side and it looks maybe about like a third bigger than GTA 5, which GTA 5 is a pretty big map, especially when you're like in it, it seems pretty big. There's obviously other games with much larger stuff, but it's about the density as well. So
as long as there's some gators in it, no more gator, no more shrimp.
And there's one thing that I heard too, is that they were saying that, the jump between GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, as far as engine and graphics and physics and all that stuff, is pretty big. Like those, you can tell that those are like way different generation of games as far as how they play and look and stuff. And they said that the jump between Red Dead and GTA 6 is even bigger. So it's even more of a jump between Red Dead and GTA 6 than it was the other way, which is kind of hard to imagine.
And I still see so many clips of Red Dead, even though the game died pretty quick for me with the multiplayer, because it was just, when you first started playing the multiplayer, it wasn't worth sticking around, honestly, because there wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah.
Or somebody would just come up and lasso you and drag you around.
Right.
Ugh. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And hopefully, Rockstar has figured out that maybe they should have multiplayer at launch.
Right. I remember that with GTA 5 having to wait.
And Red Dead.
Yeah.
And Red Dead was also delayed.
Yeah, you had to wait until the multiplayer came out. But like you said, we know from Red Dead, they've got crocodile physics.
Yes,
or alligator physics. They've got the models. They know how to do it. And they were scary in Red Dead.
Yeah.
So they might be even scarier in GTA 6.
Yeah. I am excited for it. It's not my like biggest, I can't wait to play it game, honestly.
It's up there on my list as far as like things that are on my radar that I'm going to be like watching things that come out for it, reading articles about it. And like, I'm excited to get my hands on that. That's one of the few that I can think of upcoming that I'm like, ooh, I want to see stuff about.
Hopefully it brings like a lot of new stuff to it as well. Like obviously GTA 5 was great and it was a lot of fun and you could have fun in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Everybody had trouble
people are still playing it.
They are. People had problems with the heist though, right?
In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, like all the heist stuff and like money was kind of hard to make, And I remember just robbing gas stations when we first started playing multiplayer, and that was plenty for us. We were having fun.
Yeah.
So now, and stealing a car every hour or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's important because I'm moving on as a gamer, like I am liking, if I am playing more open world, I am liking more tactical or like slower stuff. And I don't want to.
I was thinking about the other day, with that kind of slower thing that, we put a lot of hours in Ghost Recon Wildlands. We briefly tried Breakpoint. I think that's what it was. Yeah. And like, there may still even be something there to be had. I'm not quite convinced, but the freaking like the robots and the drones annoy me.
Yeah.
And but I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I would like to have a reboot or another iteration of the Ghost Recon thing, but to take it back how it was like on the original Xbox, where it was a slow, methodical, tactical shooter sort of thing.
And put us back in a war zone instead of fighting PMCs and drug dealers. I mean, the drug dealer thing was neat, right? Yeah. But I want to fight like North Koreans or make up a fake communist country and let me kill them.
An OP4 of some kind.
Yes.
Yeah. And then have us, take Ghost back to the elite squad that it's supposed to be, stealthy. And you've got like a big wilderness, forest map that you're like, it's like raining and you're, moving through at night, trying to hunt down these things. Like I want that slower, almost kind of like, I like a Ghost Recon, but it kind of plays like Tarkov or something like that.
With kit building and like the way we had a lot of fun with just playing GI Barbie.
In Wildlands?
Yeah, in Wildlands.
Oh yeah.
And so
it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So I think they got to have that in there as well, but that would be nice to have, in all honesty. Yeah. But GTA 6, I am excited for it. But I can just picture, like, I didn't even finish Red Dead, to be honest.
I didn't either.
I got, when it got into that stupid little, like, the kind of, like, New Orleans place. Like,
I think I had just got there.
It lost kind of, like, the Western luster being there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've watched plenty of it, but I got enough out of watching it that I didn't really want to go back through and play.
Yeah, I had just got to the kind of the bigger city that's down in the south and kind of rummaged around, got like in a couple fights and stuff. And then at some point I just fell off it.
I did too. And I'm hoping the same, like I completed GTA twice, I think, or at least once. I completed GTA 5 at least once. All the way through.
I never beat it, actually.
Really?
I got to the very end somewhere, but at some point too, like, I think I got far enough in it and then the online came out and I just never played the campaign again.
I finished it and I was concerned enough. Like I did have enough care about the characters that I think even researched to make sure I got the best ending.
Yeah.
Which is always fun, when you're that guy, but you do when you put that many hours in. But all in all, I'm hoping that we get some fresh stuff out of it, because the worst thing that can happen is, for that company especially, after all the time and effort they put into it, is have a flop or have issues. Like, hopefully the game testers, the people who are testing this and doing all that, are keeping it real with them. And this is going to be like a fresh, because I think the first one I ever played was Vice City. I played Vice City on the PlayStation.
My first one was
PS2.
San Andreas.
I played Vice City on PS2. I loved it. I mean, going back and look, back then it was huge.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't believe how crazy it was.
If you look at that map now, though, it's like
yeah,
tiny comparison.
Yes, it is, but it'd be nice to see some callbacks to that. But it really needs to be a fresh game. I would love to see like a different. You're always the criminal, and I think it would be interesting to have like a law enforcement undercover type of thing. Like there was so in The Getaway, which is one of my favorite games from when I was younger on PS2, there was the Getaway 1 and Getaway 2, which is like Grand Theft Auto, but in London. And the second one, there was a couple characters you played, and one of them was like a kind of discredited firearms officer from the UK, but he would like, his special thing was like he would throw you to the ground, put you in like zip ties.
Oh, right.
And that kind of thing. And I thought that was neat. I think it'd be interesting to have that kind of thing like going on as well, or in that where, because what's one of the things we see the most when people mod the game? What do we see?
Well, I know it was particularly with like GTA 5 Online still has a huge RP community.
Huge RP.
And one of the biggest things in that is the police forces.
Yes.
In that.
So imagine being able, like if that was included as a core feature. Now that's not like necessarily what I'm interested in, but I think having that in there.
Or maybe that like if in there that you're able to get different jobs, like career things or something that give stuff like that give you the ability to operate as a cop, and you can go around and pull over civilians and stuff. Or you could be, you could be a fisherman, you could be a pilot, whatever.
Like Battlefield Hardline was interesting, like with that law enforcement perspective of it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think you could do the same thing here, and I would like to see them do that, honestly. You could be a corrupt cop for all I care, but the fact that you could get in like if one of the vehicles in your house was a police car, and you could pull people over, and you could like choose what you're going to do with them, like write them a ticket or arrest them.
That'd be pretty cool.
And like do a whole thing. And have to go to court and be miserable or something like that.
Fill out a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah, like you have to.
Please attach a keyboard so you can fill out the paperwork to this game.
Start writing police reports. That'd be horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but I've just been so much on the PC kick, and especially on the real-time strategy game. I've been playing Rome Total War. I've been playing Stellaris. I downloaded Stellaris.
Oh yeah.
And I've been playing it, and that's making me happy. It's scratching an itch. Playing Warno, love it. That's been like one of my favorite things. And so shooters have almost like, I've not played as much squad as I would like. I did download Tarkov just because you did, but we've not played together.
Yeah, we need to hop back in that because they're going to have a new wipe on that on New Year's. Okay. So if anything, we could get in now and not be worried about losing stuff.
I'm already there. Yeah. Because I knew there was a wipe coming at some point, and because I'm loading in halfway through the wipe. Right. I'm just going in.
We could go in a little more reckless.
Yeah.
Which would be, I think, kind of fun.
Yes. It is fun. Like I remember before I got rid of the game last time, before I was like, I'm going to uninstall this to make room for something else. I remember I would bring in as much cash as I could with me. Oh, you can only bring 250,000 rubles, and I had a bunch. Yeah. And I would bring in like 100 or 150,000 rubles, and I would go in there and get in gunfights, and whoever killed me got the money.
Surprise, you won the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, here you go.
Right.
Nobody even reached out. Like you see online, sometimes people are like, oh, this guy brought in all this stuff, and so I got back up with him to get it back to him. Right. Have you ever seen those where people playing Tarkov will lose stuff that maybe they didn't mean to bring in, and like good guy Twitch streamers will be like, hey, let's meet up in the game and I'll bring you your stuff back, which is always fun.
There's one Twitch streamer, I think he's British, that I've seen a bunch of clips on. His name is Friendly Guy. Is his handle, and he goes into Tarkov and he's a friendly guy. Like he'll help people. Like we could not have the in-game chat. He'll like talk to him and like calm them down and just like help them out with quests and stuff. They're like, I just need like one more headshot on a PMC, and so he'll like give him his stuff and then like say, all right, you can shoot me in the head, or get me with a grenade kill, and he'll just sacrifice himself or just give him medical or help him out and stuff.
Meanwhile, I like Stank Rat, who's just like hiding in the corners and sniping people
in the shadows in a bush.
He's just like
right,
gotcha.
Right,
Rat's getting his cheese or whatever. Like he says a bunch of random stuff, but he's like specifically being a rat on there and like sneaking around. What else is going on in gaming news?
Well, I know I sent you the link in our Discord, which we'll actually talk about later. But there is images, and I think a trailer actually just came out for the Fallout TV series.
So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about in film and TV, and that is definitely one of them. So what are we thinking about that as far as things go?
Well, I mean, from what I can see, looking at the trailer and the images and stuff, it looks really good.
It does look good.
Like the Brotherhood of Steel look awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't like there's not like a distinctive like, oh, that's CGI kind of thing. You know, the suits and stuff all look very practical and everything, all the effects and things. It looks better than the freaking Halo show, which got announced for season 2.
Which got announced for season 2 in February. So please, God, be better, because I'm probably going to I'm going to look at it just to see, but
it won't.
There's a good chance it's not going to do well. We'll keep you apprised of that. But for the new Fallout show that's coming out, what platform is it coming out on?
I think it's Amazon.
Okay, which makes a lot of sense. So it's coming out on Amazon. We saw their little whirly bird.
Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure the man I was trying to see, but
we saw their little whirly birds for like the Brotherhood of Steel, the awesome looking power armor suits. Warhammer. Hey guys, that looks pretty good on there. Maybe you guys can start making some shows. That'd be pretty killer.
Yeah, it is Amazon.
So coming out on Amazon, it looks good to me.
We saw the ghouls. There's like the Western ghoul dude. Like very kind of like cowboy looking.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll mix and match and kind of like hit that Fallout 4 kind of vibe, because I think Fallout 4 has become such like a big game. I still see a lot of clips of it.
I'd like to see some kind of New Vegas vibes as well.
But some New Vegas. I was going to say some like a little bit like, and it does appear to be in the desert.
Yeah.
Which is neat. There wasn't a lot of 50s like stuff that I saw, except for like that one jukebox kind of thing.
Yeah, there was one song that played like in the trailer.
That
was kind of that older style thing. Yeah. Which that gave me that vibe. I was like, that feels like Fallout.
Yeah.
Hearing that old timey thing.
Yeah. So excited for that. Was there a date on that when it's coming out?
2024, I think, was all I saw at the moment. Maybe April 12th. That is what I see on IMDb.
Okay, killer.
So,
well,
yeah, it could be then.
In media, just a couple other things I want to throw out there. So for those that aren't familiar, so Halo plans on just shared its first season 2 trailer the other day. We'll see how that's going to go. We just got another trailer for House of the Dragon season 2. And I'm excited for that as a Game of Thrones fan. House of the Dragon, the first season was okay. I am excited to see what happens with the second one. I'm still interested enough, and especially since the second season of Game of Thrones was like where it started really picking up, until the end. It was pretty good. So excited for that. The Boys.
Right.
The Boys is coming out soon, and that is going to be super exciting. Apparently the world is on the brink of chaos, and I can't wait to see chaotic Homelander just laser some more people.
Laser eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Laser eyes McGee.
Yeah, that is a show that's like every now and then it's got moments that it's like that you're on the line of being hard to watch.
Not for me.
I know, not for you, because you're desensitized to all that exists.
Yeah, I am. I have no shame and I'm very desensitized to it. So it doesn't bug me at all. But I am super excited for this season. I'm wondering if it's going to be the last or if it's going to set up the last season. It has definitely been very, there's a lot of anxiety going into it just because there's so much stuff going on. And if you care about the characters, you are significantly worried about some of them.
Right.
Because, this is the season things are really going to happen.
Right.
It seems.
Right. On that same vein of superheroes and stuff, did you ever watch Invincible?
Oh, yeah. When's the second season coming out of that?
I think because that's what I was going to say, because I've seen that there's been trailers or things for that. I don't know the time for it, but that should be also sometime.
And I feel bad because I've not watched any of the Adam Eve show that goes along with it. I need to.
I don't think I even knew about that.
There's an Adam Eve show on Amazon as well that's out there, and I think it's got some stuff. But I'm excited for it because I was never into the comics, but after like watching the first season, like I watch a lot of videos on it and learn about all these powerful entities and all this cool stuff and world building and lore building, and that's right up what I like doing.
So I think it just says like 2024 at the moment. Unless, find something else later, but that's still, I think will be, because there's a lot of stuff out for it now. So it probably would be pretty soon, I would think. But that was also because I know that they had what was the his dad? Shoot,
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man. Yeah, that's right. Because I saw that he was in like freaking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
and stuff, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've definitely got the promotion going on for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The Last of Us season 2 will be coming out hopefully 2024, and it's going to feature content from quote unquote lost levels. I've never played the game through, but hopefully it's going to have some interesting stuff in there. And I know the people that do love that series are really into it. I really enjoyed it. I remember tweeting about it every single night that we watched it, live tweet or not tweeting it and putting stuff on Instagram for that kind of a watch along. I think that would be fun to have like one of those, like actually do a watch along, like a live party, maybe
That'd
like
be cool.
In Discord or something like that, like a watch party be sick.
That would be cool.
And the new King Kong movie coming out.
So yeah,
my son is going to be so excited.
Yes, so I'm I want to watch there's like been so much Godzilla stuff come out here lately. So there's a Japanese one, Godzilla Minus Zero.
Yep.
Which that one I really want to see.
Yes.
Because that one, it's a different Godzilla. And he is much more kind of the attitude of the old ones. That he's not kind of the world saver dude. Like he's there to wreck shop. And he's like a jerk.
Yeah, he's not the benevolent god that, Well, in that, guys, we've been, so I'm going to get to my actual watches here in a second because I want to bring up the next thing that's coming out before we move on to that. But that is the new True Detective.
Oh, there's another one?
The new True Detective season should be coming out soon.
Oh.
True Detective Night Country with Jodie Foster. And I'm a huge fan of the True Detective series. I think the first season, standalone, is one of the best things that's ever come out on, like, as far as TV shows comes. I think it's by far Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey's, like, their best performances I've ever seen.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey as Russ Cole in that is such a quotable, interesting, like, well-written character. And he just really, 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 really good in that role. So Jodie Foster playing in True Detective and hopefully having the, an amazing story with her acting and hopefully like a really dark and creepy, vibe. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to let me know how that is. Cause I haven't seen any of them. So, and I may or may not watch it, but.
Well, the good thing is you don't have to watch any of them.
They're independent.
They're independent seasons of each other, which is also really fun. I like that kind of thing. But what I was going to say, in going back to the King Kong, is I have been watching, so Apple TV, I have been.
Oh yeah, they got the TV show too.
I'm watching Monarch. My son loves it. Monarch has been okay so far.
I've heard that there's not a lot of monster stuff in it, at least not at the beginning.
There's been enough. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say like, we're trying to get to the point, but there's definitely been monsters. Like there's not been, I mean, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
But there's definitely been like I've seen Godzilla. There's some other crazy monster, and then there's some crazy ice monster that eats fire and stuff. So we're getting there,
right?
But I would like to. The characters aren't as well fleshed out that good. Okay. So I'm interested in that, and they've got their movie coming out, an actual another Godzilla movie. So yeah, which is also going to be fun. In that same thing. So Apple TV, man, I talked about it the other day, maybe a couple, podcasts ago. I'm really, really liking Apple TV's original series. So far we've binged all the Foundation, fantastic sci-fi, beautifully filmed, amazing actors, great story, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. But I mean, I think without the really slow plot lines. Then we have The Silo, really good.
What's that about?
So people in a silo, there's like 14,000 people.
There you go.
There are 14,000 people and they're in this silo.
So it's not just like a grain silo.
No, they're in this silo and they don't know why they're down there. They just know the outside is toxic. kind of living their lives. There's kind of like a murder mystery, as well as like some stuff that's going on. Like maybe it's okay to go outside and they're just trying to keep us inside. Well, but it's like there's like these screens where you can see how bad it is outside.
At least what you're seeing on the screens is bad.
Yes, and so there's like this.
But is that just what they're showing you?
That's the question, right? Yeah. And at the end of it, you get a little bit more of that. But it was so bad, it left me hanging so bad that I actually looked up the books because I just wanted to know what was going on. And I'm actually more excited for the other seasons, knowing how it's going to probably end.
Interesting.
Which is pretty exciting.
Okay.
For All Mankind, we are finally on season 4 of that. We've binged the first 3 seasons, not binged, but we've been watching the first 3 seasons of that. As far as space shows go, man, wow, really good. It's essentially like an alternate history show where the Soviets land on the moon first.
Oh, wow.
And the space race never stops. So we wind up with bases on the moon, wind up on Mars, right? The actors are all really good. The CGI, the special effects are really, really good. And there's a couple little storylines that I don't love. But other than that, man, it's just such a good series. Season 4 is starting off well. And I don't know. I'm totally sold on the Apple TV platform at the moment.
Well, all right.
Because there's still one more show that we want to watch. And so season 4 of it, For All Mankind, is out now. We're a few episodes behind, but it's not all the way out yet. Like, so we're going to hopefully finish. We're hopefully going to get caught up on that and be able to finish it. And then be waiting on season 5, maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's one more show that's like a alien invasion show. And that'll be our last watch on there for all the TV shows that they have. But so far, if I would just get a subscription, I would start with the Foundation. There's 2 seasons, really good. Silo, For All Mankind, get on those. Monarch's coming out every Friday, I think, and it's not been bad. So
nice.
I also want to say, so Netflix has got a new sci-fi show coming out. So they've got a new show coming out called Rebel Moon, which looks pretty interesting. It's got some decent looking sci-fi in it.
Rebel Moon?
Yeah, I don't know the gist of it. I've not looked into it.
It has nothing to do with the Rebel Alliance.
No, it doesn't. But visually, it looks decent. I want to say actually that it has some basis in like some Star Wars, some like along the line somewhere. Like there was somebody that had something to do with Star Wars has a part in it.
Oh, just like in the creation of it kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then another show, and I've almost finished it.
Say, how many recommendations are there?
Oh, I've got a million. I've got, baby, watching.
You guys need something to watch?
Because
ask John.
I'm watching them. All right.
He's seen them. He'll tell you about them.
I'll tell you about it.
What genre you need? He'll get you figured out.
Great British Baking Show. I'm almost done with this season. Looking great.
The only show that's been playing near in our house is Law and Order.
Oh, yuck. But Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix, I am almost finished with it now. And, I'm not like an anime guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my shtick. However, Blue Eye Samurai is really good. Revenge stuff. Very kind of get like a Kill Bill-esque type of thing out of it. Really good violence. Definitely rated MA. Definitely not something for adults. But it's been...
Oh, that looks interesting.
Oh, it's good. It's very good. Very, very good.
Like Samurai Jack,
but better animated. Yeah. I mean, there's nudity in it. There's a lot. There's nudity in it. Obviously, significant amount of violence, but the story is really good, really pretty. Like everything's really pretty in it. And
I'll have to check that out.
You should. You definitely should. It's extremely good. So I think that's mostly it. I am looking forward to the new Andor. As far as sci-fi, as far as Star Wars goes, that's the thing I'm most excited about coming out of Disney anytime soon. And I'm hoping that won't be a flop. But those are just some of my show recs and some of the things that are coming out soon that you guys should keep your eyes out for. And I know for sure I'm going to be binging as much as I can.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, going back to video games and stuff, also another thing that's happening here soon on the 7th are the Video Game Awards.
Ooh.
Happens every year, put on by Jeff Keighley. He does a great job at it. it's kind of almost become the new place to really get a lot of the announcements now that kind of E3's died.
Mm.
And that used to be kind of in the, beginning part of summer, June kind of timeline, May, June. And everybody, I always got excited for when E3 would happen because you got all of the like world premiere trailers, all that stuff. Now a lot of that has moved to the Game Awards. A lot of it happens in Gamescom in Germany, but also, and then maybe some PAX, different places.
PAX East, PAX West.
Yeah, but the Game Awards, a lot of stuff is queued up to happen there. I know Microsoft said that they have some really big announcement. I don't know what it is, but they said they're going to be there in like a really big way, and they said they've got some kind of huge announcement to,
a new Xbox coming this summer, coming to homes near you.
It could potentially be like a mid-gen update.
Xbox Series M.
Series M for money.
Because
it's expensive. So
$3,000.
Right. And it still only got 500 gigs.
Yeah.
You have to buy the expansion card.
You get 500 gig Xbox Series M, or you can pay $300 more for the 2 terabyte.
Right. So they're going to be there. I know Larian Studios is going to be there because they are nominated. Baldur's Gate is nominated for like 8 different things.
And it should be, because Baldur's Gate is great. And if you haven't played it, I hope you do. And if you have an Xbox, we're hoping that they're going to make the announcement.
Yeah, they said that they are going to announce the release date at the Game Awards.
And you are predicting, Josh from Geek ETC is predicting.
Yes, I'm predicting that they are going to say on that day, you can play it right now.
Ooh, yeah.
And the crowd's going to go crazy, and the servers to download the game are going to be overflooded, and you won't be able to download it for like 24 hours probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly predict that Baldur's Gate will be out on Xbox within probably the next week or so.
That'll be killer.
Because that seems like time. Because Larian Studios has done so many baller things throughout this whole release, and to just drop that is like the icing on the cake. Yeah. Because of course they would, because they're awesome.
Yes.
And they did say, so they actually just came out with patch number 5 for their game.
I heard it's what's that new version? Like, what's the new game?
So there's 2 new game modes.
Yeah. What are those?
There's a custom one where you can go in and set parameters for different things. So yeah, they got those 2 game modes, and one of them is called Honor Mode. So yeah, Honor Mode is basically more difficult than Tactician.
Okay.
So it's another scaled up. So yeah, the enemies are harder and smarter. You also only have 1 save file.
Oh my globs.
Yeah, and if you get a TPK, then your game is over.
Okay.
And you're dead.
So we need to play that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
And when you die, it instantly gives you stats on like how like what you've done in the game and stuff to give you instant feedback. And you can still continue, like if you were to die, you can take that save and continue in the custom mode. But if you were to complete it, you don't get the like badge for completing the Honor Mode. And then also in Honor Mode, bosses get legendary actions.
Oh, for those that aren't aware of this, like they get an extra thing out of their turn order that they can do, which is, so that's what a legendary action is. There's layer actions, there's legendary actions, there's mythical actions. And so a bad guy being able to do something like out of his turn or out of her turn would be big time.
It mixes stuff up crazy. Because normally you're like, we've got at least 2 more people to go before they can do anything.
Yes.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe I think they were like, one of the things I saw was the like a matriarch queen spider that it just like shoots web at you.
Oh yeah. Just
like at some point in the turn order.
Yeah.
And it can like freeze you up and stuff. So yeah. Honor Mode seems pretty nuts.
That sounds,
but we might have to try it.
We might have to try.
I know we were talking about, so we're going to start probably a new campaign on Xbox when this comes out.
Yeah.
With a few of us. I don't know if we go right into that or we
maybe
just try something else.
Is there going to be cross plays?
I don't think there is. I haven't heard anything about, you can have cross saves. Like if you have it, like the campaigns we've started on PC, like, if we signed into the Larian account, we could open those saves on the Xbox and continue our stuff we already have going. But I don't think there's cross play, which that would be, I wish that there was.
I wish there was too.
Maybe they can find a way to get that to work. I wouldn't put it past them because they've made a ton of money off this. They could probably make it work.
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome if my wife could play on the Xbox and I could play on my computer. and then you can play from your computer.
I would like to play from my computer, yes. So
Yeah.
that would be very nice.
But you can also just hook mouse and keyboard up to the Xbox.
I guess so, yeah.
And probably still play it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll
have to try it out. But yeah, I am very excited for that to release. But what I was going to say is, that patch 5 that they just came out with is 30 gigs.
30?
30 gigs. I think you have to have like 120 or 130 gigs free to install it.
Oof.
It doesn't take up that much space once it's installed, but you have to have that much free. It like downloads stuff and installs it and it gets smaller. And they suggested if you don't have that much room, just uninstall Baldur's Gate. And then when you reinstall it, it'll install the latest version.
Latest patch, yeah. Well, with that said, I would like to bring up that I started talking about GeForce Now a couple of podcasts ago. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my progress with that. So obviously, I wish we were a bigger podcast, but we're not. So it's not like GeForce is paying us money right now.
No.
But maybe in the future. But I've been having a lot of success with it. And that when you were talking about it, I was like, man, I do not have room for that on my gaming laptop. I don't. However, I don't need it because I play with GeForce Now, which allows me to stream the game directly to my computer. I've not noticed in first person shooters or in any of my real-time strategy games, I've not noticed any lag or anything that hasn't been internet related.
Right.
And all in all, I've not had any issues, especially now that I'm at home. When we first started playing Baldur's Gate and I was doing it through GeForce Now, I was on the road playing at crappy, remember that. Airbnbs, and specifically a kind of a crappy hotel room. And so it's
understandable.
It wasn't
work great.
It wasn't that good. But now that I'm home, I'm playing on my home router 5G. I am having a decent amount of luck with it. The only thing that I've had come up recently, and I think it's just because so many people have been home gaming, is occasionally now I pay for the ultimate. So I pay like $19 a month for the best package. Right. But it's worth it to me because I can now play way more PC games than I could before. Used to, I had
to have the weight of uninstall and reinstall.
Yeah, I had to choose two. I had to I can have 2 or 3 games on my PC and that's it. Now I have multiple and I can just
without having to buy a new PC or like external hard drives and stuff.
Exactly. So I just got rid of like my Xbox Unlimited or whatever. I got rid of my like EA thing through them, like stuff I hadn't played in a while. And I was just like, why am I even paying for this? So I got rid of that. So now I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool. I love the technology where they're going with that kind of streaming play things. I'm excited to see how far that goes in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I have had a few people ahead of me. Like it'll be like, you've got 3 people ahead of you waiting for the next gaming rig.
Right.
And that's been recent. That's only been recent and it's been at different parts of the day. But I would say that I get my game going within 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
So super easy. And that's 8 hours of playtime at like their ultra, whatever, like with everything that they've got. And I mean, I'm not playing 8 hours a day.
No.
I wish, but
we used to back in the day.
There was definitely some times we played 8 hours.
But yeah, so that patch 5 with Baldur's Gate, they in trying to make it for the Xbox, they came across like this memory like allocation bug or something, or it was a bug that had to do with the eyes. The what are the eyes that float around and look at you?
Oh, the
I'm blanking.
What are those things called? The scrying eye.
The scrying eyes.
The scrying eyes.
That there was a bug in the game where if one of them like if you were doing something like a criminal act or something bad, and it would kind of like the eye would try to determine what you're doing was good or bad, and it would get stuck in that determining state,
in that loop,
and for some reason that
wouldn't
builds up like the more bad things you would do, and it would build up so that when you got to Act 3, that's what made Act 3 so slow and laggy.
Really?
Yeah. So the more bad things you did and got caught and stuff early in the game made Act 3 that much worse.
And that's one of the reasons why I switched to Baldur's Gate 3 on the GeForce Now, is because I was having trouble with just how dense Baldur's Gate City is.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting that they fixed that, because we were having a bunch of issues with that.
We like even paused our first campaign, just put it to the side and come back later.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad for you particularly. So that patch, that might very well fix a lot of the issues you're having.
Ooh.
But they said too, the Xbox version that comes out will have that patch 5 on it.
Perfect.
So when the Xbox version comes out, it'll be up to date with that major bug fix.
As Lady Gaga would say, I love it.
Sure, I guess she would say that. She probably said that a couple times. But yeah, so that's a big thing coming out of the Game Awards. Looking forward to that. But speaking of the Game Awards, I was going to go over just who the nominees for Game of the Year are.
Okay.
We could kind of talk about them a little bit. I won't have a lot to say about a lot of them, unfortunately, but I'm just going to run through them here, not in any particular order. Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
I've never played an Alan Wake game.
Good little mystery game, though.
I think it's like a mystery game, has something to do with books or something. Like he's an author or something, I think.
Yeah.
But the fact that, again, I don't really know much about him, but that this is in the running for Game of the Year, that must be pretty good.
Everybody seems to like Alan Wake that plays it, but it's not something that people are just dying to.
I think it as a genre, it just didn't pique my interest particularly.
Yeah, me too.
I need something maybe more epic scale or something. After that, obviously, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes,
that's my vote.
That's our vote
for sure.
Geeky TC's pick for Game of the Year.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
You win. That's the nominee and the winner. Yeah, not much more to say about that. We've talked about that till wit's end. We're going to continue to talk about it as it develops through the coming years, I'm sure. After that, Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Okay, well, I can see that.
Which, everything I've seen on that looks really cool. I've heard some interesting dynamics between, because you've got the Peter Parker and the Miles Morales switching back and forth sort of thing. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about that there's certain parts that are kind of frustrating, because on the Spider-Man side, you start to get into the black suit Spidey, which, back in like the animated cartoon stuff, that was like the coolest part of the show.
Yes.
When Venom's introduced and you get the black, symbiote suit, like that's when Spider-Man is at its coolest. And those parts of the game are awesome. And they're so much fun to play. But then you'll switch over to Miles, and he's like, there's graffiti on a wall. I got to get the graffiti off of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's like some old dude that
So they should just give him his own game, essentially.
Like they did in the first one. But you switch over, there's like this old man who like goes and visits this place where his wife, his wife died, and he comes here to visit her. It's like all this depressing, just sad stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And like, you have to help like this one high schooler like get a prom date. And then you go back to Spider-Man, and you're like in the Venom suit, and you're like fighting like superheroes and stuff. And it's like, I just want to play Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
So there's been some kind of like mixed things on that. But as technically on a game and stuff, it is phenomenal. There's like no loading screens.
Yeah.
And you can like teleport, you can fast travel to a complete opposite side of this huge city of Manhattan. And there's no loading screen. It just zips you over there, which is crazy. So that one seems really cool. I've got about halfway through the first one on PC when it came out on that, because I don't have a PlayStation, and I've really enjoyed that. Again, just the free roaming web slinging of that is so much fun, and it has some nostalgia back to Spider-Man 2 that I played a long time ago, which I thought was so cool. Also on that list, which I don't really feel like should be on the list, is Resident Evil 4.
I mean, Resident Evil, a lot of people really enjoy them, and I think they're really good for like a playthrough or two. But
this is a game that's been out for 20 years now.
That's true.
It's Resident Evil 4. It's just another remake of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which has been like remade or redone and revamped like 8 times. And it's on here again. And that just doesn't, I don't know that I would put in like those kind of remakes and stuff like that. Like I'm sure technically as a game and stuff, it's probably fantastic. But comparatively to all these other new games, I don't know that I'd count that one in there very much.
Okay.
After that is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I haven't played it. It's been a minute since I've actually played a 3D Mario game. I heard a lot of stuff. I think one of the last ones I saw or I tried maybe was the first Mario Galaxy, but I don't know that I got very far in it. I kind of would like to go back and play those because everybody said those are like the best ones. The last one that I played the full thing of was probably Super Mario Sunshine way back on the GameCube. And I loved that one, and like apparently a lot of people are like, yeah, that wasn't really that good. And I'm like, I had so much fun with it. But Super Mario Brothers Wonder, people seem to really like it. They have these interesting things in the levels called Wonder Seeds that you can be like walking. You can have like a water level in that you're going through, and you can get these Wonder Seeds, and the Wonder Seeds do something different every time, but they completely change the map. Like if you were in a water level and you got it, suddenly everything's reversed and the water is like above you and you're just running and jumping on where the water was.
Interesting.
It's either that or like things are reversed or it just completely mixes up the level and just adds all kinds of crazy stuff to it.
Yeah.
So as a Mario game, seems pretty good. Don't know. Those kind of Mario platformers, just again, I'm not really in the vibe for that.
It's almost not worth the time. Like there's certain, like we have to choose what we invest our time in more now.
Right. Like I'm never emotionally connected to any Mario characters.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a story that a Mario game is going to tell me that I'm going to be like impacted by.
Yeah. Except for Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah.
It's a me, yo, hey, it's a Mario.
I'm Mario.
Yo, it's me.
Calm down, Blue.
But
it's just a Yoshi.
Yeah, it's just a Yoshi. Oh my God.
Has that been a meme?
Hasn't been a meme yet.
Where it has Mario just like, like with his hand out in front of a blue Yoshi.
That would be hilarious.
That's got to exist. If that doesn't
exist,
I got to Photoshop that.
Please do. We'll add it to our Instagram.
And then the last one after that, I think is that the last one? Oh yeah, is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Which I totally agree. I put a good number of hours into that. I'm sure I didn't even get halfway through it.
Yeah.
I would like to at some point go back and finish that because I was having a lot of fun with it. It's just really big.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game fully, I think, also deserves to be on here. It was they took all that Breath of the Wild had in the big world there, but then they just like tripled it, and they have the whole sky area above it, and then the dark underneath of it, and so it's like 3 whole maps.
Oh, geez.
That compared to what it was before, and then they add in all the crafting mechanics that everybody's seen all the images of all the crazy contraptions people have built. I saw one the other day that they literally built Godzilla. Speaking of which,
yeah.
And it was this like giant mech like walking out of a lake and like had lasers and stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't know how to build that, but that's freaking awesome. You can do that. So yeah, I think that totally deserves to be on there. But
and then the last one on the list was Starfield.
No,
I'm just kidding. Hey, gotcha.
There. Yeah, it got knocked off.
It did. Yeah.
But
I think the reason why, so Bald, obviously we love Dungeons and Dragons, and we're
kind of partial,
and we are partial to it. But with a little bit of like outside looking in, Baldur's, I didn't play like Zelda because I've never played any of the Zelda games. Right, that's not my shtick. I'm not into that. Love people that are, love seeing some of the stuff that does it.
Yeah,
but it's not my like. I never grew up playing them, so it's kind of like almost weird for me to get into.
This was my first Zelda game I ever played.
Okay, well, this is kind of taking my argument away. But what I think that Baldur's Gate did is I think it did bring some people over to a whole different genre.
Oh, it for sure did.
It brought a ton of people to this kind of like, it's not a total turn-based thing, but
it has elements of it.
But it's the significant amount of it is turn-based when it comes to your actual combat, and I think. It definitely brought a lot of people over.
And I think it still even is going to when the Xbox version comes out. There's still a whole subset of people.
Yes.
Not everybody can afford a gaming PC. They're more expensive than consoles.
Yes.
So there's still a whole lot of people that are about to get brought into it. We're just getting started.
Yes. Especially, and the fact that they've updated it, the engine that they're, like all the stuff that they're doing, as much stuff as you can do in that game. And then as well scripted, the voice acting, the facial expressions, just all the little things that came from this small studio, Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't get it.
Yeah. I feel like it deserves, it like revolution. It set the standard for what RPGs can be right now.
Yes.
Like everybody is looking at them of like, oh, our thing doesn't, and like, I know that, I can't help it. I'm going to be judging if I play any other RPGs or a lot of fantasy things. I'm going to be judging them against Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Whenever the new Elder Scrolls drops,
Oh,
I mean,
I am worried about that now.
I am too.
Especially with Starfield. And then
Yes.
after, like, between Baldur's Gate and Starfield and kind of what they've been doing and talking about, I'm like,
with their Elder Scrolls Online, like all that kind. Yeah, I think that is a huge, like, I went from excitement to a little bit of a pit in my stomach regarding that.
Yeah. And did you see what Bethesda, what their developers have been doing in regards to the reviews here lately? So there's this big controversial thing going on that there's some of the devs have been responding to negative reviews that have been left on different places. But normally you usually don't see it from bigger studios. It's usually smaller independent things and they're like, oh, thanks for, we're sorry you had, this particular thing happen or whatever, but it's something we're looking to in the future to try and, improve or fix or something. But thank you for playing as always.
Mm-hmm.
So this person was like, yeah, I went to the, when you land on planets and stuff, it's just empty and it's boring, which boring is a subjective thing.
It is.
That someone could have. So Bethesda, this dev responds and they go, no, it's not boring. They're like, whenever, man first went to the moon, they weren't bored.
Okay.
And they're literally just like saying this stuff and like, well, one, you can't tell somebody that something they did wasn't boring for them.
Yeah.
That's not you to decide. But that's also not the correct response.
No.
To that kind of thing. And like, yeah, that seems kind of boring if there's nothing there. And like, also, for the guys who went to the moon, they're potentially risking their lives. It's back in the 60s. You're going into space.
Yeah.
As opposed to a dude sitting on his couch playing a game.
Yes.
That's kind of different.
It would be different if this was like a full-on Apollo simulator, and if your ship wrecks, your entire console just burns itself out, Mission Impossible style.
Right.
That would be different. There would be like a lot of
consequences.
There would be consequences.
But you're just sitting on your couch at home playing this video game.
Yes.
And you're not an actual person landing on the moon in the 60s.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think there even was lots of reports about the guys when they went to space. They talked about like, yeah, it was boring.
Of course it's
There's
boring.
one dude that just still sat in the lander because he didn't want to get out.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
he had to get out. I thought, well, he had to stay in there or whatever. There's definitely people For All Mankind. You guys should watch it out on Apple Plus.
There you go. But yeah, so I just thought that was, I'm like, yeah, now they're doing stuff like that and just saying, no, it ain't boring. You suck.
You suck.
You
are just
You're
dumb.
boring.
You're dumb. How about that? Yeah.
Our game's too smart for you.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for God, Elder Scrolls 6 is so awaited, and then if they
I did hear someone too that their biggest gripe was that it wasn't one like congruent like world. That was one of the problems Starfield had, whereas like Skyrim, it's one all connected map and you can just go and you can wander and find things.
Yes.
Which helped that out, and you could fill it more densely with stuff because it's just one kind of big map as opposed to all these little thousands of planets. You can't densely fill that many planets with stuff.
No, and you to be fair, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I did see some statistics on like how often you ran into encounters in Skyrim, and it was like every 30 seconds. Right? That there would be something that like, whether it's a saber-tooth or coming across a location or a side quest or whatever. And the time in between that and what it is in Starfield is so much longer.
It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes. And it does make sense. And I think if you like space sims, like if you're somebody that likes, the problem is it's not space sim enough.
And that's what I'm saying. If you if you like space sims, you've got Star Citizen.
You've got Star Citizen.
You've got Elite Dangerous. You've got No Man's Sky even to a point. Like there's options that do it way better.
Yes. And
allow you to take off from the freaking planet and fly out into space like everybody wants to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know. We'll see how Elder Scrolls when it comes out in like 17 years probably.
Yeah,
it'll be on the
coming soon.
It'll be on the next gen consoles, I think.
Like the old like the DVDs coming soon to home theaters near you.
Right, coming soon to VHS.
Yeah,
to home cassette or whatever.
This summer. Sassy and Chance go to the city.
Oh, jeez.
Homeward Bound 4.
Oh man,
Sassy.
I'm excited for the Game Awards. That was just kind of there's a bunch of other categories. of, you know, things that have nominations, obviously.
Coolest Dungeons and Dragons adaptation.
They got like best game
Baldur's Gate
direction,
3.
best narrative, best art direction, score and music, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm scoring music again. I'm like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's got to go to Baldur's Gate, dude. It's got to go to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. There's so many of those. Best narrative. I mean,
Baldur's Gate.
You've got the narrator in it. She like just have her talk for 5 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, all of them. Maybe best VR AR. It wouldn't win for that.
She probably shouldn't win best VR.
Probably shouldn't win that. Or best mobile game.
Have you seen that girl that does the VR Skyrim with the AI? Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
It's like a girl, and at least I think it's a girl. There's a feminine vocal pattern. Let's just say that much.
Okay.
And she's in there, and she's got the VR, and she's got all this stuff going on, and it has the AI.
I've seen the AI
where they respond to you, and she'll talk to them, and then she'll get up like on one foot and put her hands in the air, and she'll like "Fust row da" like that. But that's how she says it, like just silly like that, and then they'll send them flying.
Oh,
like they'll say something smart to her, and she'll just "Fust row da," and then
they
launch
just fly
them
off.
Yeah, which is fun.
I'd be interested to see how like AI NPCs make an impact on games in the future.
Yeah, I mean, say what we want about AI not drawing things or making art, or AI not writing stuff, what have you. I can understand where the issues, and how SAG-AFTRA and all that kind of stuff can have their problems with it. But the ability for people to code in AI NPCs gives it a whole level of playability that I think we will see. I think that is the future of gaming, having that kind of thing.
And being able to, like, if you've got a headset on, that you go up and you just actually talk to the NPC and they actually talk back to you and have a dynamic conversation.
Yes.
Like, that could be crazy.
Well, think about it, even just in the guise of like a bad guy. Imagine we're out playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and the NPC AI is like been given some basic tactics of how to do patrols.
Yeah.
Right. And they have like a certain vision, and like imagine they're just like, okay, well, like imagine like every base, because when you play Far Cry or something like that, eventually after the third base, it's just kind of like, well, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll parkour off a rock and kill somebody with arrows that I shot up in the air 10 seconds ago. Like there is some fun stuff you can do in it, but it loses its luster for me because it's just the same old. Imagine like you don't know what they're going to do. That's a huge deal. We saw a little bit of that just from the AI in Baldur's Gate, where I'm like, what? They just threw that guy out of the fire so they didn't get hurt.
Yeah. But like all of the NPC things that we see now, like, even though there seems like an almost unlimited things to do, it all is still stuff programmed in.
Yes, it's scripted.
If you open that up to where the AI itself can just decide what it's doing based on what's happening.
Yes. Like if you give the AI a protocol, like you are to guard this base against intruders.
Yeah.
That don't.
However necessary.
Yes.
Your rules of engagement are shoot on sight for anybody proving hostile.
Yes.
And that's what the AI is programmed to do. Like, who knows what it's going to do in this
Exactly.
game.
And I think you could run into that, and it would be, tell me that wouldn't be just absolutely insane.
In a game like Wildlands or something, that could be crazy, because then, every single time you attack that base, it's going to be something different.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Man, now I want that.
I know, right?
AI-based NPCs in the next Ghost Recon. That's what I want.
Oof.
Well, I think with that, we'll call it a day.
I think we will. Yeah. So, we really appreciate you guys. We appreciate those of our listeners who have stuck by us, even though we've had some downtimes. We are keeping it going. We plan to remain steady, at least a constant where we'll be around. But we're also really looking into growing our community.
Yes, that's a good point. And on that, you will, if you go to any of our socials, Instagram, Twitter,
X.
X. Sorry. I'm still not caught up on that. And there's a link in our bio that goes to a link tree that has, links to all of our other stuff. You will now find a link to our Discord community that is now open to everybody. So you can come and join and talk to us about lots of geeky things.
Yeah. We want you guys in there. We want to grow our crewmates, essentially.
Yeah.
We will have like a special area for our patrons.
Yeah, for people who support the show through Patreon or other means, you will get access to an exclusive chat room where, the normies can't quite go.
That's right.
So you'll still have a special place just for you. And me and John
Looking
will
at
talk
you,
about
Tom.
yeah. Oh yeah, Tom's the man. But we'll me and John will talk about secret stuff in there maybe.
We'll see. Or exclusive, what have you. And we also want to bring up that Josh is working on some Twitch streams, and we're trying to really get stuff going where we have more content out there other than just our audio content.
Yeah, I've put some effort into setting up a setup here for potentially for streaming on Twitch, like you said. I've got the channel kind of configured, got a few little software things to round about, but pay attention to the socials here in the next coming week or two or so, because we if that's when we go live on there, an announcement will go out and you can come watch me play something.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm just now debating, hey, maybe we should play that Baldur's Gate the full
the hard
mode,
honor mode.
Yeah, the honor mode.
Ooh,
do a Twitch stream of that until we die.
What if we do it just like the solo two of us, like no companions even?
You son of a gun.
I got him.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Now I got to think about what class I want.
Tempest Cleric.
But anyway, just as it, does in Baldur's Gate, when you have companions,
geeks fight better together.
Yes, they do.
But remember that you guys can find us online at our website.
Oh, yeah, geeketcpod.com. You can go there and listen to the podcasts. You can go, again, to Instagram or X or YouTube and search Geek ETC Podcast and find all our content at any of those places. I don't know what the URL for the Twitch is yet, but I will, when we get that, that'll be in, like I said, in the links in all the bios. And of course, if you like what you hear and, you want to see more from us, help support us.
Yeah. And the lowest thing that you can do to support us, the easiest thing you can do is just click on a 5-star review.
True. That goes a long way in your podcast platform of choice. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you listen to. If it's on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Maybe leave a comment, say how awesome it was. Definitely subscribe on YouTube as well, and then hit that bell icon so you'll know when the new podcasts. If you're one of those YouTube podcast listeners, I am for sure. You'll know when the new episodes come out.
Yes,
and you can check them out on there. And then ultimately, go to patreon.com/geeketc podcast. Find us there. You can join our crew for, I think it's $3.
Yeah. And we've narrowed it down. So
we've simplified things on there just to kind of, keep it not confusing as far as different, benefits or whatever. We're keeping it simple, starting out here. And for one flat rate, you can get access to any kind of exclusive stuff we have and get access to that special Discord channel and have a good old time.
Good old times to be had.
Yeah. Like you already said, though, geeks fight better together. But with that, always remember to keep geeking out.
Foods throw die.